Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. Everybody would join in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. We're going to start with approving the minutes of the February the 16th, 2016 regular meeting.
I'll move.
Ms. Smith made the motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilkerson. Is that all yes vote?
Yes.
All righty. Public comments. Mr. Linville, no one signed in, did they?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Presentations, we have Matt Miller, CTE update. Mr. Miller, the floor is yours.
How are y'all doing?
We're great. Sun's shining and we're glad to be here.
I'll try to make this clear. There's a lot on the schedule for today.
We're fine.
I've got several different programs that we have listed on here. Start off with the automotive and welding. I don't know if you know or not, but Southern Community College now has a new president, Dr. Gunther. And he came and did a visit with us weeks back. And he was real interested in the automotive and the welding program that we have there in terms of supporting us with anything that we could do to help the kids or further their education at the high school. He's already interested in the welding because I've established contact with him about adding to that and Southern being able to provide some welding courses after school through Mr. Jones. And he liked that idea, so he's also looking at automotive as maybe being able to try to establish something with the automotive class. He's talked with Mr. Cremines, making the automotive class more like I think it's Northwestern, where those kids that we have go through the program have to go up there to get certification. So he's going to try to work with us to establish something here in the county through Southern.
Let me just clarify. Now, are you saying, is this something that would be of the evening?
It'll be of the evening, yeah.
Now, would that be just for our students or would be open to the general public?
Well, right now he's just focusing on our students, but it may be something down the road to pursue for adults as well. But if they focus on it and decide to change or add to it, I will let you know before we make any movements. Carpentry class, we're working to finish the youth league press box and the dugout. Students started working on the LCH soccer and the JROTC concession. We've had a request from Hamlin Fire Department about having our kids come over and work on their building. And I've been in contact with Refresh Appalachia, which has offered some apprenticeship type programs for several of our kids upon graduation this year. ECE and welding. I've talked with Karen Wade. She's with the United States Department of Labor office. They are working on an apprenticeship program for several students from each one of these courses to do a possible apprenticeship after graduation. So if these kids are interested in, pretty much an apprenticeship program where they can get paid, sort of way of helping them out at the moment. JROTC, talking about the soccer and the concession building. So far we have $4,550. I know that I think they asked the board for some help with the building. There's a couple of things that he'd asked for me to mention was need help from the board getting the electric hookup and a water line. for the baseball area. I guess they can tap into that. Anything for sewer lines installed, and whatever the plan, I guess, would call for that in terms of getting up the electric and the water and the sewer hookup.
Aren't they working with Dana to have those things done?
I think they are.
That's what I understood.
Yeah, that's what we told them to do. I thought we gave them authority to work directly with him to have those things done.
Okay,
Pass that along, please.
I will do that. I will do that. Okay. Because I don't know if he was sure on that or not.
Dan was here that evening, wasn't he?
I think, okay, because he was like, could you ask on that? But if that's the case, we've already taken care of that
I
problem.
think Dan was here when they made their presentation, and it was kind of like,
Okay.
nodding in agreement.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I will let him know that he won't have to worry. They got some drill meets coming up, March the 4th and the 5th. State rare competition, Spring Valley is kind of, letting everybody know about it. Best of Best in North Carolina. Military ball's coming up, award ceremony on the 15th. Flag retirement's on April the 21st. April the 22nd, they're doing an activity for their 100-year anniversary of JROTC with the cadets. And they have summer camp coming up. Therapeutic Services, Joanne Elkins and I have been asked to come to Boone County CTE, meet with Jeff Nelson. That's on March the 4th, to continue working on the LPN program, and that's gonna be with the help of Southern. So they're gonna take care, I guess, of whatever we need to get that in place. So I don't think it's gonna be any cost to us as far as the county.
And who was Jeff Nelson?
He is the director of Boone County CTE. You probably know him. Okay, he seems to be a pretty good guy. He, reaching out and trying to establish a program with the Boone County campus, but he's run into some issues, so I've been talking with him, and we've had an interest with some of the kids, so we're trying to come up with maybe some type of agreement where these kids can take classes here and over there as well to pursue that if they would like. VOAG here on the back. We have the 2 high tunnels. We're in the process of completing those, and I'd like to thank Larry and Fred for coming out Friday and checking out what we had going on. They did a training with the students, and a few people from the community came in, observed with that. There's been spring planting occurring in the greenhouse. We do have chickens now. There's about 150, but I think we're going to keep about 50 or 70 of them, is what I was told. Those are going to be the laying chickens, so they'll have fresh eggs to sell once these get big enough to do that.
Want to eat the other one? Fried chicken dinner?
Well, I think they're going to raise some small ones to sell. They ordered 150, but part of those will go to Mingo County from us. I've been talking with the FFA alumni. They've refined some of their scholarships that are offered 9 through 12. And the Farm Bureau is also offering a scholarship to one of our students upon that graduation. The alumni dinner is 5 o'clock on Friday, which is the 26th, into this week, and followed by the Green Hand and chapter degree ceremony at 6. This is at the high school. On welding, we're moving along. I scheduled Mr. Jones for OSHA training, and he's gonna do that this spring. We also had a guy from Local 625, the Pipe Fitters Union, come in and wanted to look, check out several of our students about offering them an apprenticeship program, enter the apprenticeship program, which could potentially lead them to a permanent job. Jamie's working on getting some additional certification through the American Welding Society. It'll be, for our students, it'll be an extra credential for them. It'll be similar to the West Virginia Department of Ed, what they get when they complete their programs. But this one here is more recognized by the business and industry that he's been in contact with. Southern's been working with Mr. Jones, and they would like to send him to training sometime this spring or first part of the summer to be a certified welding inspector. And that's something we can offer our kids upon graduation, that he'll be able to do that at the high school. And they won't have to worry about that once they graduate and go out if they want to pursue that. So that'll just be an extra credential for them. And Southern has agreed to work with us March the 21st, offering the SMAW, which is a stick welding class after school for some of our students that are interested in that.
You know if the welding teacher, if you have considered contacting the local Boilermakers Union as well, as pipe fitters? I mean, Boilermakers do a lot of welding, probably more than pipe fitters do.
Okay.
So that would be a very good, I don't know the local number, but that would be a very good potential source if the locals are in need of
Yeah, they're
new employees.
yeah, they've had several that's actually contacted us looking for potential employees. And that was where the pipe fitters came along. They were wanting to talk with us and meet the kids and see what was going on, because they're not hiring good people anymore. They're having trouble retaining folks because of mainly drug issues and stuff. They work for a little bit, drug test them, and then they're out the door. But they've heard about with our simulated workplace and the drug testing that we do, and that's been a big plus for us, which is several, contacted to say, hey, we'd like to meet the students and go from there. So hopefully it'll lead to some potential jobs for some of these kids.
I'd say contact the Boilermakers Union would as well.
Will do. I'll put that on my list here too.
Matt, Karen can help you with that. She does all youth apprenticeships.
Okay,
So she would be your contact. She can set you up with any of them.
okay. Yeah, because she said she'd get back with me and.
Yeah, she's over all the youth apprenticeships in this part of the state.
Okay.
And Mr. Helmick coming down the 1st of March.
Yeah, he'll be here sometime the 1st of March. He's not giving me a specific time. I was kind of waiting on that. His secretary said probably be 1 o'clock or so when he got here. His schedule was real busy. But they do have me penciled in, and she's like, when he comes, if you have any questions, please ask. Anything we can help you with, we'll do our best. And so, appreciate that. Let me know.
I got is the stick welding open to adults or just, yeah, the high school student, have a cold and have trouble.
Okay. It's gonna be open to the adults. We're working on an MOU with them, with an agreement. Right now, it potentially looks like the ones that are actually interested in the class are the students that we have now. So, as far as I know, we've not had any outside folks look into it. However, with Karen Wade that I've talked with, she said that potentially would probably change for next year. Once we get things set in place and up and running, a lot of people out of work right now may be looking to come back and get recertified and, with the welding. We'll address that down the road. Questions? Do we have questions?
Anything else? Karen, anything else? Okay, Mr. Miller, keep your eye on all of your livestock over there.
Okay.
So we don't-
Yeah.
We don't want to get out across the river.
Right.
No, we appreciate that. We're glad some good things are starting there. The spring planting, that sounds like a good activity.
Yeah, the kids have been working in our greenhouse.
Good. And Mr. Wilkerson was telling us, or I know Mr. Curry's there too, about the other day, they were impressed with what they saw over there.
Yeah, it's a good little activity that they talk with the kids about the opportunity for entrepreneurship and different things that they could do. So it was a good thing.
Right. All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, that's the presentation we had. So we'll move to the administrative section. Can I have a motion? I'll move. Rowdy made the motion. I'll start. Second by Fred. Mr. McKee.
All right, item A, according to the provisions of County Policy 8210, School Calendar, West Virginia Code 18-5-45, following revisions to the 2015-2016 school calendar are approved as a result of school cancellations for extreme weather conditions. So last Monday and Tuesday, February the 15th and 16th, we were closed due to inclement weather. And those dates for makeup will occur on June the 6th and June the 7th. There's 2 days still remaining in the calendar, June 8th and 9th, that could be used for the loss of instruction if that was to occur.
Now, as of right now, if the 6th and the 7th, are those days for students? And if so, is the planning day later?
So that the preparation day just moves to the end of the calendar. So right now, that date's going to be the 8th.
The 8th?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the last day, as of right now, the last day for students would be June the 7th, and for staff, June the 8th, right?
That's correct.
Okay. That confuses me sometimes.
Me too.
Okay.
Item B is out-of-state travel for the following employees. Item C, school volunteers who on occasion may also serve as bus chaperones for athletic events, academic competitions, and school outings, and have completed volunteer orientation. And item D, the last item, is a contract with ZMM Incorporated to provide architectural and engineering services for the LCHS athletic complex, including design drawings for the football field and track, and bid specifications according to the terms of the contract, which is attached in your board agenda.
Does anybody have any questions about that particular, or any of the administrative items? I'm sorry. Okay, Mr. Meek, I have a couple questions about the ZMM contract.
Okay.
You know, it had been our desire to get some specifications for elevating the field and crowning the football field, having the track and seats and all that. Now we have a 19 or 20 page contract we're signing. So I tried to read through this and understand what we did, but I just want to clarify a few things. Now, first of all, in paragraph 2 of our cover letter, Mr. Ferguson,
Yes.
it says there that ZMM will provide the site design service, construction, all that, for the sum of $25,000. Now, I think that's what we really are after, isn't it?
That's right. That would include a crowned football field surrounded by a track, and with the remaining area over there leveled and on grade for any future facilities, including the bleachers, the press box area, anything of that nature would be included.
Okay. In the last sentence in that paragraph, all other associated building design will be in a separate contract. So if we were wanting, once the specifications are out there and assuming that we approve some, a vendor, person to do that work, if we wanted to have them oversee that process of actually the development, that would be in a separate contract?
That's correct.
Okay.
Outside of this contract.
Because we're hopeful that we won't need any assistance, but should we could get them, but it would cost above this 25, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. But then I think in the next paragraph, it kind of says what I just said there. They would provide all support during the building or the project bidding phase at hourly rates as they attach, over $3,500.
And we don't believe that we will need their assistance for that part of the project, that Mr. Smith will be able to handle that activity.
Okay. Now, one thing, the drainage is also included in the specifications of this, the $25,000 specs, right?
Right. And would run lengthwise, the entire length of the property over there.
On both sides?
On both sides
Okay.
of the football field.
All right. Now, in the last, we count, 1, 2, 3, the 5th paragraph, the above cost does not include any site survey or soils investigation services. You got any thoughts on that?
Survey's already completed. That had taken place with, I'm trying to think of the name of the company. Field Turf, yes, thank you, Field Turf. Completed the survey. And when I talked to Mr. Ferguson last week, he indicated that he didn't believe that we were going to need any soil investigation as a result of the fact that we wouldn't be constructing any buildings over there right now. So we didn't think that would be a necessary cost right now.
Well, I think Mr. Curry brought that up during his presentation, whether we.
I think that's my words exactly. what he said.
That we didn't need, okay. So it's only if you're actually gonna do some constructing that you have to have those four drills. That's right. All right, okay, then the other thing that came to mind was whether or not we would need any permits to do this work. And I looked over here, and I think 3.16, I think, alludes to that.
It does, you're right. I went back and read through that language as well. You're right.
Okay.
It's 3.15, 3.16.
Okay. Okay. So, I guess on 6 is, that the architect shall assist the owner in connection with the owner. Now, in other words, if we have to have a permit, they'll let us know.
That's right.
Right?
Yes. And
Well,
he said,
normally that's in your bid. The contractor is responsible for all permits. So,
We're covered two ways then.
yes, yes.
The contractor, but then this would say that they would also should tell us, or, if we had to have one. Because otherwise, we wouldn't necessarily know that they needed one.
But, I mean, you put that in your bid process, that
Contractor.
the contractor is responsible for all bids, or all permits.
So I'm assuming, Jeff, whenever we get to the point of, if they're assuming we do this, that before it ever goes out to bid, out to the place in the newspaper, or whatever, that we will see what's going to be sent out there.
yes,
And
it
we
will be
can-
sent to us for the board to review.
Okay, we can review it then, like what Greg mentioned there, but make sure it's in there, and maybe some other things that we could. But hopefully, it's getting closer to Carol, or spring Carol, so we gotta get this thing done. Okay, all right, I think that's all I had on that. Anybody have anything else? Hate to belabor that, but we beat it to death, we need to do it. Okay, if not, then I'll call for question. All in favor of all the administrative items, have an all yes?
Yes.
Okay. Finance, motion please. I'll move. Fred. Second by Larry. Fred.
Okay, item A, scheduled invoices totaling $496,648.30. Those are attached. And invoices are available for public review at the county office. Item B, budget transfers totaling $157,883.55. Item C, budget supplements totaling $3,595,553. Item D, financial statements for the month ending December 2015 and January of 2016. Any questions?
Did I have any? No, you've overwhelmed us, Bertie.
To
We'll
be
rely on
financial
you.
statements.
All right. Are any questions? And all in favor of the finance items, and all yes?
Yes.
Okay. Personnel, motion please.
I move.
Carol? Second by Rowdy. Mr. Lamb?
Item A, employment of substitute service personnel. Item B, employment of extracurricular personnel. Item C, leave of absence. D, resignations and retirements. And also amend the minutes of February 16 to include Tim Elliott, Lincoln County High School coach track girls, Dwayne Estep would do the right at the meeting time. And also,
Okay.
we have some on the back, I'll go ahead and read those items also. Transfer of professional personnel per West Virginia Code 18A-4-7A. Transfer of professional personnel per West Virginia Code 18A-2-7. Termination of professional personnel to be placed on preferred recall list per West Virginia Code 18A-2 and 18A-4-7A. Transfer of service personnel per code 18A-27. Termination of service personnel to be placed on preferred recall list per West Virginia Code 18A-26. Alteration of employment contract per code 18A-4-19. Number of days reduced from 240 days to 220 days. Next is termination of extracurricular contracts, athletic, professional service per West Virginia Code 18A-20. 4-16, 18A-2-2, 18A-3-2A, 18A-4-8B, and 18A-2-7. And it lists all those personnel. Then on the last page of the personnel is to abolish the following positions at the close of the 2015-16 school year.
And, board members, as you can see on that last page, I mean, this represents what I would call a significant cut, a reduction in force of 22 employees, 8 on the service side, which is comprised mostly of aides, and 14 professional positions, including the one that's not here that you don't see, which is the energy manager position that's been held by Joe Parsons for several years through a contracted service with RISA. That position as well is being terminated. All this brought on or necessitated by the fact that we've lost enrollment, which has resulted in a cut in state aid through the funding formula as well as federal dollars in the neighborhood of $850,000 for the upcoming school year. I believe I mentioned at the last board meeting that since we submitted our second month report in October, that we've lost 31 students in that short period of time. If the state economists are correct in their forecast for this area, they are saying that we're going to continue to see a loss of population over the next 10 to 15 years. So I think this is going to be an ongoing issue for us over the next few years as we deal with the loss of funding. Questions?
Anybody have any questions for Mr. McGill from Mr. Lehman? Just a clarification. Now, the 31 students that you said we've lost, is that since we submitted the second month report?
Right.
Now, so we will, that is going to come up and factor in when we do a budget a year from now, so any loss we'd have then. In other words, this could have been worse had those kids left before the second month.
That's correct.
We've been right at $1 million, wouldn't we?
Or about somewhere between $5,000–6,000 a student in this game that we lose for each student.
Well, I think everybody knows it's not unique to us. Every county that I know of is around us. I read today's paper, I believe, where Capital's getting ready to address theirs. We all heard about Boone because it's so monumental.
And then, for the most part, though, we have been able to manage this by resignations, by filling jobs,
Retirements, vacancies.
jobs that were no longer necessarily transferring those people rather than true reductions of force.
Right.
You mentioned Mr. Parsons now. Why, Jeff, has he submitted a resignation or something, reason his name or his position is
Yes,
gone?
he's actually hired through RISA, so it was handled through there. They go through a similar personnel season as we do, so he received a letter from Dr. Conklin.
Okay. He had the opportunity for a hearing, all that business down there?
Yes.
Okay. But now, even though they go through RISA, we were funding his position?
Yes, it's $55,000 a year. Right.
He was just paid for accounts payable on RMSD.
I never have understood why that happens, but there's a lot of things I don't understand. Okay. But anyway, so you had one administrative position. Okay, I understand. I think.
Something that, to me, that should be mentioned here is the fact that we've had to cut funds for other things during the school year because of the reduction from the state. That's, in a way, that's affected our cuts.
It was, approximately 1.5%, Bertie, which was $157,000 immediate cut that we saw this year. Realized it this year, and we'll see it again next year.
Definitely.
Speculation, it could be be that or more as time goes on. You never know what the legislature is gonna have to do. Okay, any more questions on that?
I just have one question for Mr. Midkiff. When you go through this process, before you present this to us, do you spend, and Mr. Lim will spend a considerable amount of time looking at every aspect of the budget that is available to run the school system here, and make these recommendations in the way that you think the cuts will affect the least number of students, thereby allowing us to use what money we have for the benefit of the greatest number of students?
That's well said, and it's correct. And we go through a painstaking process of looking at all the facets that goes into making personnel decisions that are in the best interest of our students, including multiple conversations with administration, principals, and out there in the schools, and to come to the decisions that are made, that are before you here today.
So, I mean, I don't think anybody sitting on this board will vote with a light heart when we do these things. I know I don't. It's very difficult for me. I don't think we have a lot of fluff to start with, and we are eliminating or reducing good positions simply for budgetary reasons. We have no choice. Or at least that's the way I look at it.
I think everyone would agree with that. I know Mr. Midkiff has expressed to me, and I know years ago when I was in his position, the most difficult time of the year, the most difficult things you had to do were dealt with personnel. When you had to, people would lose their jobs, whether it be temporarily or permanently. That's the hardest thing one has to deal with. And I'm sure Jeff echoes that.
I do.
Okay. All right, no further questions. I'm gonna call for question. Is that an all yes on the personnel items?
Yes.
Yes, all yes. Okay, we'll go to comments and concerns. Board members. Mr. Bacon.
Say, I just have one issue, and it deals with the vote we just took to reduce the VOAG position from 240 to 220 days. When we listened to the evidence, the hearing a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago, I'm sorry, time runs together for me, it seemed that there was some confusion as to whether, or there was some gray area as to whether a lot of the activities that we thought were no longer taking place might be on the agenda to be resumed. If that is in fact taking place, and if we see a resurgence in the activities in that program, there's nothing that prevents you from granting extra days next year, assuming there's money to fund those days, is there?
That's correct, and we will take a look at those activities.
We as a board have focused heavily on our CTE programs. And if we have programs that are going in the right direction, if we're gonna have a focus on that program as a whole, I wanna make sure that we're looking hard at giving those programs what they need to succeed, so that our kids can get maximum benefit. But if there's no money there, there's no money there. But I just wanted to make sure for my benefit that you could do that.
And that's correct.
I'd already talked to Mr. Midkiff about checking on some things and about that program, and hadn't got the answers yet, but we will. And it, you know, the board can, if she comes before us, she can request extra days this summer, and if it's necessary, I'm sure we will look favorably on it.
I think what everybody has to understand is if the board is going to decrease terms of employment for people, that must be done now.
Yes.
But at any time during the year, the board can increase, but the only time that you can decrease contracts is now. If it isn't done, then that you go through the next calendar or the next school year with that same contract. But the board, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, if everybody's in agreement or majority are, the board can always add 2 contracts, but we can't take away except at this time of the year. Which is what you say is understood by me, I know.
Well, I entered this board, one particular goal in mind, and that was to see the CTE program change. And this is one board member hates to see anything that adversely affects the CTE program. So let's make that statement clear.
Okay. Okay, nothing else. And Rowdy, any other comments on that topic or others? Okay. Anybody else? If not, I'm gonna ask Mr. Ricky if he has anything he usually does.
I do not have any concerns, but hard to believe I know of the information shared.
No Post-it notes,
No
stuff?
posted notes, no.
Okay, if there's nothing further then, we'll adjourn until March the 1st, 2016 at 6 p.m. here in the county office. Motion, please.
I'll move.
Fred, motion for a second by Larry, and an all yes vote.
Yes.
All yes, okay.